Hello and welcome. Hello. How are you all this sunny? I was going to say morning, but it's just gone bang on into the afternoon. If you are here, please do say hello. And if you are watching back, please just put in #replay so I know that you have seen the live, even if you couldn't join us live. I can see we've got Sherelle with us. Hello. We've got Hannah with us. We've got Fo with us. I never know whether to call you Gibble Floop, though, Fo. It's a catchy title. So do say hello when you're here. But other than that, I'm going to get started. Just as I start, I've got a cat banging at the door. So, you know, these things happen. That's why it is alive and happening all the time. Hello, Tunde. Hello, Pam. Lovely to have you here with me too. Okay, so today I've got to stop that cat banging. I'm sorry, if you've got headphones on, you're going to hear it. Come on. It's my favourite, so I can't tell him off, so it's a bit bad. I think he's going to go back there again. Never mind. Hello to Debbie as well. Okay, he's gone straight back to the cupboard. Oh my God. Why does it always happen when you go live? If you can hear it, let me know. If not, I'm going to treat him like a naughty toddler and wait for him to stop doing whatever he's doing to try and get snacks. So today I'm going to be talking to you about lighting food. I've got this very, very uninteresting red velvet cake. And to be perfectly honest, I could see the size of it when I picked it up, but I just thought, you know what? It will serve the purpose for what it is that we are trying to do today. So the first thing I would say, it's nothing to do with what we're doing now, is, I'm sorry, he's so loud. Hold on. Right. Go on. There you go. So it's nothing to do with today's task, but what I really want to show you is the size of this cake stand. It is absolutely tiny, and it is perfect to use on a shop bought cake, because shop bought cakes are embarrassingly small, and you get them out and you think that's going to feed your family. Well, in my family, there's 3 boys and 2 girls, and that is never going to do us. I can tell you, a family of 5, that's going to be done in a couple of seconds, let alone minutes. That is not what we're going through today, but I just wanted to say to you, if you are buying shop bought cakes, you need to find smaller cake stands and smaller plates to put these meager cakes onto. There we go. My little whinge about shop bought cakes. So today I wanted to talk to you about directional lighting. And when I saw how bright the light was outside, I was like, oh no, this is not good. Let's go to Temu. Yes, it was from Temu, Sherelle. Let's swap to the artificial light, because with the bright light as it is with artificial light, I was just with natural light, I was thinking, it makes it really difficult to show you what I want to show you. And then I went, actually, hold on a minute. You guys probably want to see things when they're difficult and how we get around them with our light so that we make everything look okay. So I've decided that, I mean, you can probably see a cast from the very sharp light. It looks a little bit hazy in the studio at the moment because the light is so bright and I'm trying to diffuse it. It's giving a little bit of a haze. So if you're looking at my set thinking, doesn't look quite right, that's because it is exceptionally bright in here and it's at the strongest point of the sun. So I have everything going against me for this lighting show with you today. And I could have took the easy option, gone to the artificial. We're not going to. We're going to see what goes wrong. We're going to have everything go wrong and then we're going to fix it all, because this is real life. This is what happens to you guys, and you need to understand how to fix things if you're getting to that point where you watch a perfect video with everything perfectly happening. It's not going to give you that information. So what we're talking about today is directional light. The reason that this is a great place to start with you is that so many people blame their styling, their composition, they spend ages in editing when actually they just haven't really thought about how or where they light their food from. So to start with here, for anyone new into my world, you will know I will never, ever, 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 ever light food from the front. If I light food from the front where the camera is, this is where we're talking about lighting from there. So having a flash on your camera, having a flash gun on your camera, light coming in from the front, it is going to make your food look really flat, really boring, and it won't have any depth. So if you are photographing at the moment and your light is coming from the front, if you just stop that one thing today, it will make so much difference to your food. It will instantly just lift it for you. Secondly, it's very, very rare I would light from above. If I light from above, all my shadow and shape goes, and the shadows are what grounds our food. When I say very rarely, there could be a moment in time that I need to light something from above that doesn't have any shadow. But realistically, most of the time, I am going to be lighting my food in two different ways. And we're going to start talking today about one of those ways to light your food. And the first way we are going to make sure that we light our food is that we are going to side light all the time, side light. So if we look at my very bright window, let's see if I can move you around. This is my window underneath here. Through here, we've got the window. And I've literally got my cake side on to the window. And that is as simple as it gets. That's all we need to do at this point here. So we are just side lighting, and that is all that we're going to look at. Now, when we look at the food that we're side lighting, we have to think about what we do with the actual food. So I'm just going to take a picture of my cake and we're going to have a look at it with the side light. And I'm just going to talk you through how I've diffused my window because it's too bright. So I'm going to take a picture without any diffusion on it and show you how icky and sweaty my cake is going to look. So let me just share the screen with Lightroom. Move me out the way. And I'm just going to move the diffusion out. Bear with me a moment. I'm just going to make full impact and put it right there. Just bear with me. So we've got our cake in the light now. And yeah, I've got some really cool shadows, not necessarily in the right place with this. But if we zoom in on the cake starts to lose all its highlights and starts to look a little bit sweaty. And this is what happens when we put too much light into what we're doing, that the food starts to look unappealing for what we're doing. So sometimes we actually have to block out the light that we've got and build the light back in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put back in this diffusion. And I'm going to then talk you through a few different diffusion materials. I'm going to stop that share so you can see what I'm doing here. Oopsie. sorry, it's not behaving. There we go. I always love it when it's live and it doesn't play ball. Let's try again. There we go. This is a bloopers moment, isn't it? There we go. Weighted it down. Okay, so again, through this video, that's looking really, really hazy. So if we now add that diffusion to our cake, and take the picture, we've already took out all of that icky, gooey mess. Again, not a pretty cake, not very happy with the supermarket for this one. But if we look at the same cake, no camera settings have been changed here. All we've done is add that diffusion to the cake. So we've stopped blowing all that highlights. If we look around there where it all looks icky and sweaty, we've suddenly now got all that detail. We can see every little bit of the frosting that is around that cake. So this is super, super important when you are doing this kind of photography. When you're working with white, the highlights blow so quickly with white food. It's unbelievable. Now I've got a scrim. If you are not a photographer and you want a scrim, you can have one. If you want to, scrim, SCRIM. But personally, the thing that's got me by for years and years is just a little bit of oil. Just go to Amazon and get yourself a little bit of oil. Put that between the light source and the food, wherever that is, and that works really well. I've also got a £3 shower curtain. Again, it's a little bit denser, but it could still sit there as the diffusion material, which is exactly the same as what a scrim is. You don't need to spend much money on this diffusion material, but you do need to do it because when you're looking at the light coming in, this is going to make such a difference to your photography if it doesn't look icky and sweaty. Not a great look. Now, one more thing we have to think about when we are doing this is we need to think about our cake itself. So we've took this picture of the cake now, and in the middle of it all, it all looks okay. I mean, again, not a very happy cake. I could turn this round, make it a bit nicer, but they've not finished it off very well. That's fine. There's a couple of things here that are going to bother me about this cake. And the first one is that when I cut a piece out of this cake, I've purposely bought a cake that is dark inside. Because when we take a piece out, let's do that now. Sorry. I'm in between sharing and not sharing. So let me just come out of that share for a minute. I'm just going to take another picture. When we take a piece out, I'm so sorry about the sun. Let me see if I can move this around slightly. The inside of the cake is dark. And what tends to happen is we light it and we go, yep, perfect. We've got the light right on the cake. But we actually forget that we've got a light into the cake. And one of the simplest ways around this is where we've got our light source, if we're moving the darkest thing away from the light source, it becomes darker. If we move it round to the light source, it becomes lighter. So I'm just going to show you a picture now of how we light inside our cake with our directional light. Okay. I might not have put it down in the right place, so the cake might not be sharp yet if anyone wants to critique me, but let's go. Let's see what happens. The light, the cake. So as you can see on this side, the cake is already dark, and now we've lost all the beautiful detail. Even if I up the exposure. So let's make the actual whole picture brighter. This is where we've got to be very careful here. So if we make the whole cake brighter, we can zoom in on this and say, have we blown it? A little bit. It's starting to look a little bit sweaty. But then when we look at this bit, it's just not bright. And this is the bit where people start to overcomplicate what they're doing with it. And actually, when we've got a cake or something like this, we just need to move it towards the light source. And that does the job for us. Now we can see the color of the cake. We can see the cream cheese frosting in the middle. If I move it around a bit, we might be able to see the other side as well. So we can see everything in there. But if we've got the cake the opposite way round, we can't see anything. It's all disappeared. So again, us humans like to complicate the process of doing things. And by having the cake like this and moving it round, just something so simple, we've opened up that cake and we can see exactly what's in it. No, this is not an award-winning photographer photo, but this is to show you what happens with that lighting when you use that directional lighting effectively. So that's the first thing we want to look at there. Let me just check if there's any questions. You're all very quiet. Let me have a look. Easy move, no fuss. Yeah, absolutely. No fuss whatsoever, because you're not overthinking it. You're just doing something really, really easy. The window is far too bright now. I've set up in the lounge. Yes, that's why we're doing it on today. I want to do something that you guys are going to have the problem with. And you're going to have this problem now right up until September with your windows. So you need to know how to fix it. Oh, hi, Caro. Yes. Yeah, it's a great way to be able to showcase that cake of always moving it round towards, towards the front. So what we now need to look at is we need to look at the fact that we've bounced the cake in there, but we've still got a little bit of darkness on this side. Or we might find that we were working and shooting for a client that needed us to photograph it the other way around. And then we're going, but we can't photograph it that way around because it's not going to have the light. And if there's no way of getting the light into that way, we've got to think about different ways to do that. And that's where instead of turning the cake towards the light and we've got to do something with it, we can bounce some light in from the other side. Now, the key thing with directional light is this light coming in has to be the most strongest thing in your image. This is your key light. This is your main light. Now what you're going to do is gently, gently, gently bounce some light back in where you want it. So you don't blow the highlights, so you don't make it look sweaty, but you just make it targeted for what you want it to do. So I keep moving this cake, which means it's not going to be in focus. So let me just check the camera again. We're in focus. So what we need to do is bounce some light back in. And we can bounce the light back in with so many different things. The easiest thing, white card. This is a white foam board, white card, white paper, white foam board, white, whatever you've got that's white. Even if you're wearing all white and you haven't got anything else, bounce the light back in with something white. We're going to have a look at all of these in a minute. Then you can bounce the light in with something shiny. You get these bounce lights when you off Amazon. They normally come silver, gold, and white. I tend to use the silver and white. The gold can warm our food up quite a lot, so We have to be very careful about that. Or we can use, if you're a photographer, if you've already got reflectors, you can use a reflector. These are from my portrait days to brighten up the faces. Or we can go to mirrors. We can bounce the light back in with the mirrors. So we don't always have to get round the fact of what it is that we're doing. So let's look at that again. Let's take a picture of the cake away from the light. So I just want to move it around a bit so we can see inside the cake. Okay. Okay, so now we've got this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to bounce the light back in with the white card. Okay. We're then going to bounce the light in with the silver reflector. Just going to move that a bit because I can't see what I'm doing. Okay. We're then going to bounce the light in with the actual reflector. And then we're going to use the mirror. Okay, so let's just have a look at those now. So this is with the mirror. This is with the reflector. The reflector is looking really good. That's with the bounced card, the highlighted one. And that's with the white paper. So this just shows to you that there are so many different things that you can bounce light. I'm just flicking through them again to show you what we've just done there. That where we started back at the beginning, where we cut it out and we showed what the cake looked like on this side, this is what we had. This picture here is what we had. And we've managed with our directional bounce light to be able to open that cake up and be able to show what's actually happening in the cake if a client wanted it from the other side. The key thing is to not have the same strength light as your main light bounce back in. The directional light gives shadows, it gives texture, and it gives shape. If you bounce in from the other side, the same intensity of light, that's the same as front lighting, and you get this flat lighting and you remove all the texture from your food. So the second thing that you bounce in has to be very targeted, and it can't be as strong as the main light. Obviously, the light is very strong today. We can see that here and see what's happening. The light is very strong. So there we go. Sherelle, you need to get a voil. You've been buying props and equipment since the masterclass. Brilliant. And you bought a big reflector and stand from Temu. Brilliant, brilliant. Just make sure the reflection isn't too big and isn't too bright. We have to have the different levels of what we're doing there. So that is today. I really wanted to show you the directional light. I wanted to show you how to control that light, how to diffuse it. We are going to have this issue, hopefully, with strong light now all the way through until September. I want you to be able to nail your food photography and your drink photography so that you're not blowing the highlights, you're not blowing the texture, you're not making everything look greasy. It will make a huge difference to how you are working. And gently, gently bounce that light back in again. Any questions from anyone? While you're writing anything, if you've got any questions, I just wanted to let you know that in this top corner, this QR code, that will take you to my LinkedIn newsletter. My LinkedIn newsletter is all about directional light. And if you just need to process it and see a few photos, click on my newsletter and have a read. This will be staying up on YouTube, so you can watch it back, and you can go and have a look at the newsletter and digest everything that we've gone through. Next Thursday, it will be a different topic. I will be back again at 12 next Thursday with something different. Caro, you always learn something new. Always learning, always learning. Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for everyone. Thank you for your time. You know where I am. If you want to come and watch this every week, please do subscribe below to the channel. It will notify you if you put your notifications on. And I will be back here next Thursday at 12 o'clock. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.